Okay, good evening. This is the East Lyme Board of Selectmen regular meeting of June 18th, 2025. We're in the East Lyme Town Hall, upper meeting room. It's just after 7 o'clock. And we could rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additional agenda consent calendar items this evening? None? Okay. Are there any delegations that wish to address the Board of Selectmen? Anyone here that wishes to speak? Okay. Next on our agenda is the approval of minutes. First is for the public hearing of June 4th, 2025. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the public hearing minutes of June 4th, 2025 as submitted.
Second?
We have a second. Is there any discussion or changes to the minutes? Being none, all in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next are the regular meeting minutes of June 4th, 2025. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of June 4th, 2025 as submitted.
Do I hear a second? Any discussion, any changes?
Yeah, I had a change on page 2, the last sentence. It was when JCB was doing the ex officio report. The last line says acoustic duo playing a mix of Tom Petty and more. I think it's Tom Petty, and it's spelled Petty.
Okay, I think that sounds right. Okay, thank you.
Good catch.
Yeah, good catch. Okay, are there any other changes? Being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Being none, motion carries. Next on our agenda is the consent calendar. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the consent calendar for June 18th, 2025 in the amount of $85.20.
All right, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor of approving the consent calendar signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. There's no new business tonight. We have some old business. We need to schedule a town meeting for July 2nd, 2025. There are 3 major items. There are 3 bonding resolutions, annual department transfers, and a special appropriations for the fiscal year 2025 operating budget. Do I hear a motion?
Okay. Town of East Lyme notice of town meeting. Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the Town of East Lyme to be held on Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the East Lyme Town Hall, upper meeting room for the following purposes. 1. To receive communications from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance with respect to a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations Aggregating $3,631,000 for various public improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,631,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 2. To consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations Aggregating $3,631,000 for various public improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,631,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 3. To receive communications from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance with respect to a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations aggregating $3,296,000 for various Board of Education capital improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,296,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 4. To consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations Aggregating $3,296,000 for various Board of Education capital improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,296,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 5, to receive communications from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance with respect to a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations Aggregating $3,023,000 for various sewer utilities improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,023,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 6, to consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Making Appropriations Aggregating $3,023,000 for various sewer utilities improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,023,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriation and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 7, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $450,000 to increase the current year tax collections budget account number 105-413-5-41101. 8, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $450,000 to increase the interest income budget account number 105-412-0-46101. 9, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $375,000 to increase the firefighter overtime budget account number 105-4205-51630. 10, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $140,000 to increase the police chief wages budget account number 105-4201-51618. 11, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $140,000 to increase the pension/retirement budget account number 105-4142-59120. 12, to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $115,000 to increase the labor attorney public safety budget account number 105-4139-53027. 13, to approve the special appropriation in the amount of $130,000 to increase the townwide contingency budget account number 105-9800-55916. 14, to ratify interdepartmental transfers in the amount of $1,522,072 processed for fiscal year end June 30th, 2025. 15, to transact any other business proper to come before the meeting. Copies of the proposed bond resolutions are on file and open to public inspection at the office of the town clerk, dated at East Lyme, Connecticut, this 18th day of June 2025. East Lyme Board of Selectmen.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, and these are the same items that we discussed both at the a regular meeting, and then we had a special meeting for the budget transfers. Is there any further discussion? Being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So the motion carries. All right. Do we have any ex officio reports this evening?
I'll start off.
Okay.
Don Danilo on the Board of Commission of Natural Resources reported that the run of the alewives down through to the river and then down to the ocean or the sound, the largest alewife run, not just in Connecticut, but in New England. And I think that's quite incredible, and I think encouraging to our environmental resources commissions to continue to do their best to support our fragile and economically, environmentally important areas.
Great.
So kudos to them.
Great. Thank you. Jason?
Yes. The Harbor Management Shellfish Commission met yesterday, and there was a continuing question about the brakes on the trailer for the harbor master's boat. They seem to be in bad shape and in need of replacement, and they're not entirely sure where to go to get those taken care of. In addition, I received word today that Rick Cantor is stepping down, and our harbor master, Jim Spang, is going to be making this his last year as harbor master. So the hunt will be on to replace those gentlemen, and those are big shoes to fill. They've done a wonderful job. So that's it for me.
Okay, yes, they certainly have. Sorry to hear they're moving on, and I wish them both all the best. Ann, any?
I just attended the inland wetlands meeting, but really nothing to report.
Okay. Candace? Don?
Last week, I attended the planning commission, and there's a lot of discussion regarding the large subdivision for the zoning change from, I think it was 2 acres to 5 or 6 acres per lot. And I feel strongly both ways. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm not supposed to feel, but whatever. But I'm reporting on it. It seems like there's going to be quite an argument coming up on that zoning change. You read the article in the day about the possible redlining, that term used for zoning. And I'm not sure, but they are going to, it's not going to be a water issue, not going to be a sewer issue, because they're going to be using septic and well water. But the issues are, what are the values going to be in the homes? That was a big argument now versus what is scheduled for where there's 2 acres of homes there now. And I don't quite understand it all, but more argument to come.
I'm sure. Thank you, Don.
That's the only big issue.
Okay. Yeah, it is a big one. All right, thank you. Let's see. I don't have an ex officio report, but I do have a first selectman's report. This evening, I did pass out to the members of the board a document I received from our Human Resources Director, Stacy Konakowicz. There's been some reporting in the day about the ongoing police chief job search, and there were some things reported that weren't entirely accurate, and maybe I'm responsible for some of the inaccuracies. I'm trying to understand the process, but I want to be clear and set the record straight as to what the process is and what it will be. And so right now, it was the application window closed at 4 o'clock today, and as of 4 o'clock, we had 29 applications that we received for the police chief position. How the process will work is the application review from June 19th to the 26th, the East Lyme Human Resources and East Lyme Police Commission will review all applications and select the 6 to 10 most qualified candidates, and those will be reviewed by the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. Preferably 6 candidates, but no more than 10 is what they want to receive. They will appoint a panel of subject matter experts. I think it will consist of some police chiefs from across the state, and they will convene and they will conduct those interviews. From July 1st to the 25th, round interviews, Michael Lombardo, Chief of Police Trumbull, and the chair of the Police Chiefs Selection Committee, and a panel of Connecticut Police Chiefs Association members to conduct interviews at the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association in Wethersfield and provide a list of candidates as qualified or not in the CPCA opinion. Depending on the pool of candidates selected to be interviewed, the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association could recommend all, some, or none for selection consideration by the East Lyme Police Commission. From July 28th to August 8th, there'll be a second round of interviews with the East Lyme Police Commission to interview recommended candidates. Finalist candidate selection by the East Lyme Police Commission and a conditional offer in collaboration with the First Selectmen, Finance, and HR. That would be between August 11th and the 22nd. Once that happens, then there'd be a comprehensive background check to include a polygraph test, criminal history, and employment verification, and that would take place between August 25th and the 5th. Finalist selection completed and offer accepted would be the final step, assuming the background check goes through. So that will be the process. I will not have any involvement in the selection, nor will the Board of Selectmen. It'll be the Police Commission and the Connecticut Chiefs of Police Association. So it'll be hands-off from this board, and we will see who they determine to be the best candidate. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. I wanted to set the record straight. A couple other items. We're working on a SAFER grant, and that is a grant that would allow the hiring of, we would apply for 3 full-time firefighters. If we are successful in that grant, there would be the state would pay for the first year 65% of the salaries. We would pay 35%, and then there'd be a scale that shifts over 3 years, or actually over 4 years, and then at the end we would have to pick up the salaries of those firefighters. But we'd ease our way into even more staffing for our fire service. Beginning July 1st, we will be picking up the 12th firefighter that was approved in our budget. So this is another mechanism to increase staffing for our fire service. I would report that I met with the fire chief today, Bill Bundy, and he reports that the ambulance service has, East Lyme Ambulance Association has really come up to speed. They're doing an admirable job. They're well-staffed now. They're meeting the calls, and it's really starting to work out, and so I'm very pleased to report that. And let's see. The other item that I want to report is that we were the recipient of a $200,000 grant from the state of Connecticut to explore the condition of the property that was the old police station on Main Street. If we are granted permission from Dominion, and that's the last step in the process, getting permission from Dominion to dig into the ground and do what they call a phase 2 environmental analysis, that $200,000 would be used to find out what's really there and to see if there are any environmental hazards that we need to be concerned about. So that really would be the next step in determining whether or not we want to take title to that property. So this is an important milestone in dealing with the outcome of that building. So I'm hopeful we'll get permission, we'll be able to find out what's there, and then the town, the Board of Selectmen, the powers that be will be able to determine what the best course of action should be with that. So that's, and I want to thank Nick Menapace for his help, and Alex Close, who is in engineering downstairs. He did a great job in preparing that application for that grant. He did an awful lot of work on it, and it was a combination of effort here, so I'm very pleased with that. That's all I have.
Add my Main Street to that. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep, they were,
Main Street actually was in,
no, go ahead, yes.
yeah, they helped out in actually.
They did, they're the impetus.
And just a second.
Yeah, it was at their urging that we continue to pursue the grant and find out what's there. So yes, kudos to them as well.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Regarding, you said there was something called a SAFER grant?
Yes.
And is that something that we were granted or we're applying for?
We're-
Or like, what's the status of it?
So we're applying for it,
Applying for it, okay.
and if we're successful, the grant will, we're requesting help with hiring 3 full-time firefighters.
And then that would go, they would start at, we would pay 35%?
60
the state pays-
They would pay 65, and we would pay 35 the
And
first
then-
year.
And then does it go over 3 years until we're paying like?
I believe it's 4 years.
4 years?
It's
Okay.
4 years, I
All
believe.
right, that's what
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
And it's a sliding scale. You know, we start off at 65, and I think at the end it's reversed. We're paying 35, or I'm sorry, we're paying 65, and the state's paying 35. But it's a way for us to ease into more firefighters, and gives us a chance to catch up with our budget to be able to accommodate that.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. Communications, East Lyme Scholarship Association, we received a thank you letter from the East Lyme Scholarship Association. I'll just read it if you don't mind. It says, Dear East Lyme Board of Selectmen, thank you for your continuing support of the East Lyme Scholarship Organization and the scholars at East Lyme High School. Partly because of your generous contribution, we were able to award scholarships totaling $92,150 to 63 graduating seniors this year. You should receive a personal note from Kai Jolie Valentine, who was a recipient of the East Lyme Board of Selectmen Government Studies Award in the amount of $1,000. Kai has been involved in rowing, Leo's Club, National Honor Society, French Honor Society, and peers reaching out. Kai will be attending Hamilton College, pursuing a political science degree. The association feels that he is most deserving of your scholarship. Thank you again for your support. And that's from Jamie Scott, treasurer of the Scholarship Association. So, yeah, good luck to Kai, and wish him the best. All right. Do we have any public comment tonight? There's some people in the audience. No public comment. It means there's no selectmen's response. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn the East Lyme Board of Selectmen regular meeting of June 18, 2025 at 7:21 p.m.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Hey guys.